We are live in ERTEC 2022, day 2, night 2. It's Stratagraph and friends that are inviting us out to network, to invite us out to just kind of let loose, let the day go. We talked about putting in all this effort all day long. You're looking at the technical papers, you're reading, you're listening to all this new information. Okay, you did your job today. Now just let loose and meet new people, shake new hands. Well, what are we excited about? What's really happening in the industry? What are you actually working on that's making a difference for your company, that's providing value, that's generating wealth? You know, those are the conversations that happen at the network event. And you are one of the friends of Stratagraph that helped put on this event, Petrolern.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so please, sir, introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about Petrolern.
Yeah, thank you for the podcast. So, first of all, I'm really happy to be part of the friends here. So, very interesting event and a lot of attendees. My name is Hamid Surush. I'm the CEO of Petrolern. By background, I'm a subsurface engineer. I've been working in the oil and gas industry for the last 25 years, and more recently on focus on geothermal energy and carbon storage. Our company Petrolern is a technology and consulting company focusing on subsurface solutions like green, clean solutions for oil and gas to basically make it cleaner, and for carbon storage and geothermal energy to basically we are developing enabling technologies to make to accelerate the movement toward clean energy.
Did you start Petrolern?
Yes.
You started Petrolern.
Yes.
So what was your vision for Petrolern?
Yeah, I work in the industry for a long time.
Okay.
I work for service companies, for operators.
Oh,
and
wow.
Along this way, I was facing many challenges for oil and gas production, for other subsurface operations, and kind of when you're working as an employee, you cannot really try to push for providing solutions for the challenges that you like to work on, right? So that was a great motivation for me to basically try to make a change, address those challenges that I sense them myself, and have the freedom to whatever we want, and select the challenges, provide the solutions, and go to the industry and try to help them, right?
Wow.
So
right
freedom,
on.
flexibility.
Wow. Right on. That's really cool. I want to come back to that. What was your name again? I didn't catch the...
Hamid Surush. Yeah.
Hamid?
Yes. Surush.
Salush.
Surush, yeah.
Hamid Salush.
Yeah.
Hamid Salush. Thank you. Ma'am, your name, your introduction?
Hi, I'm Carrie Fellers. I'm the Director of Business Development for Petrolern.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So please explain, elevator pitch, what is Petrolern?
So Petrolern is an exciting space, and I had a hard time hearing him because we're having such a good time here.
Yeah.
So forgive me if I'm a little repetitive. But it's certainly the bridge between traditional hydrocarbons and the renewable space. So taking a look at what technologies exist, what expertise exists, and what we can look at from the information we have from the subsurface from 100 years in this industry,
That's right.
And be able to make some more money with geothermal and carbon capture and all the new wonderful things that are coming.
Wow. And so as BD of Petrolern, what's typically the client? Who's coming to Petrolern? Like, who are you wanting to network with? Like, who's the perfect client?
That's a fantastic question, because really it's a spectrum of people.
Oh, man.
So partnering with service companies and helping them with their technology development, helping them understand some of those resources. It could be a sovereign entity, a government, right, where we're really looking at their thermal profile and the geothermal opportunity there.
Yeah.
And it could be a super major, right, and helping them develop and understand some of the carbon capture opportunities.
Yeah.
So it's a great space to be in.
Right on. And it's really focused on the technical side of kind of the problems that we're facing, the problems that come up in the subsurface problems, or is it also the political side of things? Is it everything about it, or is it mostly
we are mainly technical company. We don't bother with the politics.
Yeah, you can't control it really. Yeah, you got to work with it.
Technical side of energy transition from oil and gas to clean energy, and mainly subsurface focused.
Yeah.
We have technologies that basically try to convert oil and gas assets, existing wells to basically for clean energy production, to help oil companies to transition smoothly toward.
Well, that's really interesting. I imagine the marketing of the company we're talking about the transition from, it's a reliable and it's a pretty repeatable process of getting oil and gas out of the ground that generates a lot of electricity. It's the foundation of energy for countries. Like, it's a very strong foundation there. We're saying, okay, there's a lot of byproduct to this process, and if we can create a new way to generate that electricity and electrify the planet that doesn't have so much byproduct, then that seems more efficient. That seems like a logical target to go after. What are you actually seeing developing the fastest and seems to be like maybe that real supply that we need from solar, wind, or hydrothermal, like, or geothermal? Which part? Oh, that thing's really coming at me. Sorry. There we go. Strap that thing back, huh? What are you trying to do here? Sorry. Back to my question, though, was, and I'll try to reframe it to be a little more specific. So we have oil and gas. We know it's a foundation. We have a stable energy, and we're relying on that to develop the new thing. And we know that. And there's a lot of options. There's a lot of new things. So in your opinion, in the next 3 to 5 years, where do you see the growth of that next renewable energy or that alternative energy that's really going to provide, what we need in our infrastructures? What are you seeing?
Our choice of clean energy source is geothermal, definitely,
Okay.
and for many reasons. It's very reliable. It's 24/4 base load. It is basically very close to oil and gas that we have experienced. It. All the core capabilities that we experience in oil and gas, it's applicable to geothermal energy.
Yeah, transferring skills. Yeah.
It's actually easy transfer from oil and gas to geothermal. And it can be combined with oil and gas still and try to help oil and gas cleaner. But another topic that we are really focused on and is one of the challenges. These days people talk about batteries, how to store energy, right?
Right.
As one of the challenges, one of the shortcomings of solar and wind, because there's no wind energy. There's no,
Sure.
Sun. There's no sun.
That's
solar.
right.
So we need to develop technologies for long-term energy storage. And the longest, battery technologies we have is just, 4 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours.
Right.
So we are developing technologies to convert subsurface rock formations to batteries. And those are long-term batteries. Like, we are talking about more than 1,000 hours, like 6 months, 1 year.
Wow, these graphene
energy.
batteries? What kind of batteries are these?
What we do, we basically pick up the excess energy from solar and wind in the seasons that they have excess energy.
Yeah.
And it will be curtailed and waste if not stored.
Right.
We basically convert that to thermal energy by heating water, and then inject the water into permeable formation down there.
I see.
And then when we need them, we produce the heat and we convert it to electricity, right?
I see.
It's a very viable, very scalable and long-term battery solution that we are heavily working on, and we are really waiting to apply to the field and demonstrate the capability. So we are talking to many partners and investors to make it happen.
Okay. So is it private equity backed company?
No, we are standalone. We are cash positive. So basically, we fund our research projects, number one, through our consulting services, and secondly, through funding from government, like Department of Energy, NSF.
Right.
Yeah.
Grants, those things. Yeah. And as far as that same question, are you seeing the same thing as business development? Are you hearing the same thing? Are you talking to clients that are saying, it seems logical. We're oil and gas is there. There's a well sitting out there that's got bottom hole temperature that makes sense geothermally. It's already there. Right, that's a logical next step towards an energy that is less of a byproduct. I like that. I haven't really heard that and had that concept until tonight. It makes sense. That's an immediate. It's there. What else do you see as BD in the future of this?
I think the other thing that certainly the oil and gas industry is interested in is the low carbon, right?
Sure.
It's really taking existing infrastructure and what we do today with hydrocarbon production and finding ways to make it more of a low carbon solution. So how do we help them do that into that next step and figure out more and interesting ways? Because we're not going to get away. We in the industry know we're not going to get away from oil and gas in the foreseeable future, right? So how do we do that in a more green and effective way, and economic, right? It's got to make economic sense,
It has
because
to.
there's a lot of conversation out there today about here's what we should do, but it has no foundation in making that profitable
Yeah.
and sustainable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a big piece.
It's illogical, right?
Right,
You're right.
that's right.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining the PBE podcast. I'm excited about Petrolern. I appreciate what you do, the effort you put into this and your vision, and now seeing it, like you're living that vision. You're living a dream, but it's real, and we're rooting for you. I'm really excited about Petrolern. Thank
It
you.
was our
Great.
pleasure.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much for the
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Right on.